In this section, we're going to discuss reversible ribbed-based cables. These are so cool. Let's take a look at this swatch right here. This is our reversible honeycomb cable. One side looks like it's ribbed with honeycombs in it. The other side, how cool is that? Isn't that just the greatest? We're going to work from a chart to knit this piece. Let's take a look at your chart. It's in your class materials. Row 1 here, remember, is going to start on the lower right-hand side of the chart. This is row 1 right here. We're going to read that from right to left. There's really nothing exciting going on here on row 1. Row 1 starts with a knit 1, a purl 2, a knit 2, a purl 2, a knit 2, all the way across. At the end of this stitch repeat, we have 1 knit left. We're going to jump back to the beginning of the row. So we'll really end up with this purl 2, this knit 1, knit 2, purl 2, knit 2, purl. This is really just a knit 2, purl 2 rib that has 1 knit on either side. It's a 16 stitch repeat. Row 2 is going to be knit the knits, purl the purls. You're going to continue the rib that we've established. In fact, we're going to do that all the way up through row 8. We're not going to take some time right now in class to knit that. You knit that. I'll meet you when it's time to do row 9. All right, here we are. We're ready to start row 9. Row 9 is a right side row, and we'll take a look at the chart. Row 9 is the exciting row here. It's going to be all cabled. These cables are a little different from the cables that you might have done in the past because they're based on rib. Our first cable symbol starts here, goes all the way to here. It's going to be over 8 stitches on your needle. The first symbol is this guy up here. And I've got a key, a symbol key that tells you exactly what we're about to do. We're going to slip 4 stitches onto our cable needle. I like to use a double pointed needle as my cable needle because it's easy for me to hang on to. You might want to try it if you're having a hard time hanging on to your cable needle. We're going to slip 4 stitches purlwise onto our cable needle to start. We're going to hold the cable needle in the back of the work. Then we're going to knit 1, purl 2, knit 1 off the left needle. So for 4 stitches, we're going to knit 1, yarn to the front, purl 2, yarn to the back so that we can knit 1. We're working a ribbing as we're doing the cable. Then off of the cable needle, we're going to knit 1, purl 2, knit 1. So now we're going to knit off of the cable needle, knit 1, purl 2, knit 1. There's our first cable. The next symbol in our chart is another cable, and this cable is going in the other direction. It's still 8 stitches. We're going to slip 4 stitches purlwise onto our cable needle like we did before. But this time we're going to hold the cable needle in the front. Then we're going to knit 1, purl 2, knit 1 off the regular left needle. So we're going to knit 1, purl 2, knit 1 off the left needle. And finally, to finish the cable, off of the cable needle, we're going to knit 1, purl 2, knit 1. There. We've finished the stitch repeat of our chart now for row 9. We're going to repeat row 9 as many times as we need to get across to the end of the row. So we'll begin by slipping 4 stitches purlwise onto our cable needle. We're going to hold this in the back. We're going to knit 1, purl 2, knit 1 off the left needle. Then we're going to go to our cable needle. We're going to do the same thing. We're going to knit 1, purl 2, knit 1. The next symbol in our chart, we're going to slip 4 stitches purlwise onto our cable needle like we did before. And this time we hold the cable needle in the front, right? We're going to knit 1, purl 2, knit one, and then do the same off of our cable needle, right? If you're one of those knitters that has that loose gap in between the knits and the purls, this is a good spot to do it. Immediately after a knit, when you go to purl this purl stitch, instead of wrapping the yarn around the needle the regular way, you could wrap your yarn in the opposite direction, just like we did in the earlier lesson. On the next row, that stitch where you wrap the yarn in the opposite direction will present itself to you as that twisted knit stitch. Just remember to knit into the back loop of it to untwist it. Okay, so we're going to continue working row 9. We're going to slip 4 stitches onto the cable needle, hold them in the back. I think that you have all the information you need now to complete row 9. Rows 10 through 18 of this chart are just knit the knits, purl the purls. Right side rows, you're going to knit 1, purl 2, knit 2, purl 2, all the way across the row, ending with knit 1. On the wrong side rows, you're going to start on the left-hand side of the chart. You're going to purl 1, knit 2, purl 2, knit 2, all the way across the row, ending those wrong side rows with purl 1. Tell you what, you go ahead and knit this all the way up through row 18, and we'll come back and we'll do row 19 together. Well, here we are, we're ready to do row 19. Row 19 is a right side row, it's our cabled row. The cables here are just reversed from their position back there in row 9. Let's do row 19 together as a group. The first symbol that we're going to do is this one. It's this guy right here. So we're going to slip 4 stitches purlwise onto our cable needle. And this time we're going to hold the cable needle in the front to start. And then we're going to knit 1, purl 2, knit 1 off the left needle. So knit 1. Remember, here's where I could wrap the yarn the other direction. Purl 2, knit 1, and then go to the cable needle and do the same thing. Knit 1, purl 2, knit 1. So knit 1. I could wrap this the other direction. It would be the first purl stitch after a knit stitch, where I would do that little purl trick to wrap the yarn in the other direction. It really tightens things up. All right, there's our first cable completed. The next cable is this guy here. Again, this is an 8-stitch cable. We're going to slip 4 stitches purlwise onto our cable needle. And this time we're going to hold it in the back of the work. Can you see why I like using a double-pointed needle as my cable needle? I can just hold it in my left hand behind my left needle. It's just there. It's secure. It's not going anywhere. I don't have to worry about it falling out. It's pretty easy to work this way. Here's my knit 1, my purl 2, and my knit 1. Then we go back to the cable needle. We do the same. Knit 1, purl 2, knit 1. We've completed 1 repeat, 16 stitches. We're going to repeat all the way across row 19, those 2 cables in that order until we get to the end of the row. Then we'll work row 20, which is just knit the knits and purl the purls. This reversible honeycomb cable pattern is a 20-row repeat. So you'll work rows 1 through 20, and then you'll repeat rows 1 through 20 as many times as you need to get the height, the length of fabric that you'd like. So go ahead and play with this. This is a beautiful fabric. It's so interesting that it looks so similar on both sides.